So earlier today we were talking about DLC, and like, it's definitely like a
sensitive.
It's
a complicated question.
Very complicated. I think complicated is a really good word for it. I was trying to figure out that, and then yeah, I agree because like, on the one hand you have CD Projekt Red who releases giant, massive expansion packs to their game for a reasonable price without sacrificing the content of the original $60 purchase. And then you have things like Star Wars Battlefront where they sell you 3 maps, 2 soldiers, and then sell you $120 of DLC, which is essentially just the other half of the game. Which, of course, that's obviously unethical, but it's like, where do you stand? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, what is acceptable and what isn't?
This fucker. I'd say releasing a full game. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, someone from Ubisoft says, well, you see, when you're making a project...
Holy fuck, dude! That was absurd. Anyway.
You sometimes get investors who will give you more money, and that in turn will allow you to make more content, which you'll ship as DLC because you need to make sure your investors get a return on it. It's like, that's such a load of crap, because if that's how it fucking works, which it isn't, for any company, I promise.
Fuck.
Star Wars Battlefront must have had, like, no funding.
Yeah, which is totally not the case.
Which is 100% dishonest, because it's a Star Wars game.
Yeah, and then it's EA, which has all the money in the world.
Oh yeah, they've got tons of credibility. EA's got the best credibility.
Yeah, grab that. Yeah, so I don't understand how anybody could possibly think that that's the case with that game.
But, like, then you've got other games, too, where, like, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me as much. Day 1 DLC is definitely something I stand against.
Right.
Like, even some of my favorite games have done it, but I don't hold that against them personally. I take that as a publisher's move. I don't think the game developers are behind it. I could be wrong. They could be assholes about it, but I don't think it's the developers who are like, you know what we should do? Rip out whole chunks of our games and sell it.
Yeah, I don't... If you actually cared about what you were doing and cared about your fan base, I don't think you would actually do that. Holy mother of fuck, dude.
Christ,
okay,
dude.
we're just kind of in a...
What the fuck?
Roll.
Why
roll,
am I...
roll, roll. I'll tell you, you were on fire.
I didn't know. I didn't know you could be on fire. God damn it.
I don't think I really knew either. Okay. Fine, I get it. I swear to God, the ghost enemies are probably my least favorite in the whole game. Like, their clip is so deep and they can do anything they fucking want. Assholes. But yeah, I tend to agree too, because I guess...
Nice.
I'm open it this time. The hell is that?
No idea. Safety.
Oh my god, it's probably just...
Oh yeah, it just protects you from, like, acid and shit. Yeah, immunity to fire,
that's
poison, electricity.
really...
That's not too bad.
I mean, it's... I'd rather have a cool gun. Because that was a green chest, and I expect more from a green chest. But yeah, that's the thing, like, with DLC. It's difficult to exactly figure out, because it's all about intention. Because ripping out chunks and selling it back is extremely unethical, and it's also just, like, these are your fans. Like, they're already paying $60. Why would you want to squeeze them for every cent they're worth? Like, that's just not... Like, it's just not nice, even though it sounds kind of, like, obvious and kind of lame. It's just not a nice thing to do. Like...
I'm gonna die.
If you're creating games so you make people, like, happy and you give them an enjoyable experience, and extorting $100 out of them to give them almost a full experience of a game, you can't possibly be like, yeah, you know, I feel good. I'm gonna sleep really well tonight.
Like, a lot of people use the excuse, fuck me, dude. It's like, well, you're a business and you're there to maximize your profits. Like, that's what a business is for. I'm like, no, a business is there to provide goods and services to potential consumers. And if you're going to sit there and betray your consumers by attempting to, like, manipulate them,
yeah,
you're not a good business.
Exactly.
You're shitty.
But they can get away with it, so then it is technical. If you can get away with squeezing money out of people, then...
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
I agree completely. I'm not going through that hornet's nest. Fuck that.
Life.
Fuck the motherfuck. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, thanks. Arrows.
Oh, good. This is
this thing.
This thing is the best.
Nope, not dealing with it.
I think that's kind of like with a big part, because like when I referenced The Witcher, and then when games like Deus Ex get a lot of Mankind Divided get a lot of shit for having DLC in the first place.
Yeah,
and microtransactions and
Deus Ex and Resident Evil 7 are two games that were kind of came to mind, because they're both really good games, but they have DLC like announced day one.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just like when you look at the developer, Square Enix, Capcom, and then you look at the actual studio that made the game. It's kind of a different story, man.
Yeah, I need it this time. Yeah, and it's also really makes it hard to like judge. Like critically, you can't get a game
a bad score because you don't like the DLC aspect.
Yeah, you can't. That's very unethical. That's not on what it's
irresponsible.
Saying,
like, I fucking hate Harry Potter because that stupid bitch broke it into 7 parts. Just make it 1 book. It's like, nah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, plus it's your opinion. It's irresponsible criticism if you give something a lower score because you don't like it, or give something a higher score because you do like it. Criticism is all about taking the technical aspects and breaking them down, and then you give them an aggregate score to help other people understand a summary of how the game succeeded on a technical level.
Yeah.
So I don't like something, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10 is not criticism.
That's a vested personal vendetta.
Exactly. Or just
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
You can get emotional about it, but if you're going to critique something, leave it the fuck out of it.
Right, and like reputable companies will give games higher or lower scores based upon not criticism. They'll give it based upon other aspects of it. I'll never forget, like, when I was younger, do we really need to buy anything right now?
You can get the key and then get that loot chest.
Sure. When I was younger and I was reading Game Informer, I'll never forget this happened. There was a Alien vs. Predator Isolation came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it, and it was okay.
No, man, we played the demo together. That game was shit.
Yeah, but we didn't play the story mode.
Wait, is this... You said Isolation?
I'm pretty sure it was Isolation. Alien vs. Predator something.
This was AVP for... This was like the multiplayer one.
I thought it had a story mode, too. Whoa.
Is that a ghost gun? 1,000.
Oh, I just bought this from the other store. I bought this one.
Cool.
Oh, just okay. That's kind of cool. That could be bad. Could be good. I don't know. But so the Game Informer I was reading,
it was like AVPH or something because there was like humans involved too.
Yeah, and
it was a triple multiplayer.
The dude gave it a 7.5 out of 10, and
no, it was a 5.7 out of 10.
They don't. The Game Informer doesn't do 0.7.
It was some ridiculously low score for like what it was worth.
He gave it an accurate score. Let's just put it that way. He might have been a little bit more generous than he could have been, but he gave it an accurate score, if not was a little too generous. The amount of flack that he got deserved, he gave the game, but he got so much shit for it that the community was in such an uproar that he got fired. And I'm like, he was being an ethical critic. That's what you're supposed to do as a critic. You'd be like, technically, this game didn't succeed, therefore it doesn't get a good score on a technical level. And he got fired.
Paid, dude.
Well, that's the thing is, like, he didn't let the whole money aspect get in the way of his review.
What? You're supposed to take that into account.
Exactly, and because he didn't, he got in trouble. I mean, it was community pressure. It's not even necessarily Game Informer's fault.
Nah. They're a company. They have the ability to not do that bullshit. There's no excuse, in my opinion.
Well, there really isn't.
You suck it the fuck up. You deal with the backlash, and you move on with your day.
Especially because you were like just telling the truth. Like the game wasn't very good, just straight up. It's not a complicated story. It's not a very complex story.
It was mechanically shit.
It was, and it wasn't fun because the mechanics just didn't really work all that well. It was just really awkward. Fuck. But that was the problem. Like, after I read that, I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like, the amount of flack that this guy got for being correct was just scary. And so, I think it kind of like, it set an example for other critics. Like, if everybody likes a game, you better give it a good score, regardless if it's successfully technical or not.
I think GameSpot did the same thing with Kane and Lynch, one of their games.
Those games were dumb.
Yeah, no, they weren't only dumb, they were like shit. Like,
yeah, I played one of them.
Like,
they just didn't work well.
Yeah. And I think that something similar happened. I don't know the details, but I think I heard something about that. And yeah, like, which is surprising because GameSpot is like kind of notorious for like being a very harsh critic.
Except that they gave The Last of Us 9 out of 10. But continue.
Right.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there because no. But anyway,
you're gonna have to defend yourself sooner or later.
I will. I mean, it's already written. I just have to do some more revisions, but it'll be out there one day. And like I said, it's okay to like something. I didn't say this, but I honestly, it's called a guilty pleasure. If you like something that isn't good, like on a technical level, that's okay. But don't go around saying it's a masterpiece, or don't go around saying that it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to video games, or at the very least even say that, yeah, this game is, I liked it a lot, so give it a good score, please. And that's just not how it works, regardless of what game it is or what instance we're talking about.
Yeah, for real. I like Digimon World 2. That game is garbage.
Exactly. Like, you can't... Yeah. Ooh, what the fuck?
Ballot?
Check. But yeah, exactly. Like, and it's... I don't know. I don't know what that means. So, good stuff.
Huh.
Anyway, so...
For participation.
I don't even... It's a passive item, so it's not even like we could, check by using it. We just kind of have to roll the dice and see what happens. So that's kind of the thing, and they really, like I said, and coming back to DLC, when you have DLC for a game, it's all about your intention that really guides how it's received by the community, or at the very least, how it actually is. Like, if you have malintent when you make it to squeeze more money out of people, then you're a piece of shit. But if later on down the road and the game's done and you get more investors, I can understand. It's just, EA doesn't have that fucking problem, especially for a Star Wars game. So...
See, my thing is, intention is all fine and dandy, but I believe content is a huge point about it, too.
True.
Because... just microtransactions. Yeah, they work for phone games, and kids are stupid, and their parents put their credit card information on there, so they're gonna get their money.
Right.
Especially when they release the game for free. It's pay to win.
Exactly.
But when you try to do that with a $60 game, I remember the first game that I ever heard of having day one DLC was Mass Effect 3.
Which, yeah.
Day one? Are you stupid? Why would you pay money for that?
That chest is gonna blow up. It's not. We don't have the key, but it wouldn't be worth it anyway. Because 2 keys to get to a brown chest isn't worth it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. It's just that's just baffling. Why wouldn't you just put that shit on the disc? And make whatever excuse you want. But BioWare is the developer, so I don't see any ill intention from them because they make deep, detailed stories for the most part.
They do.
Dragon Age Inquisition was.
They may not be good, but they still do it.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of shit in it. Let's just put it that way.
We'll go into more detail.
Yeah, that game is awful.
We'll also be making a video about that too.
But
there's a blank though somewhere in this room. I'm guessing my dog dug it up.
Oh,
yep.
there it is.
All right, continue.
But where was I going with this? BioWare isn't a bad company, for at least what I think of them. From what I've seen, I don't believe they're out for your money.
Right.
But BioWare's publisher is EA, so who the fuck am I gonna blame when I say day one DLC? Who possibly could have? Was it the company that takes a lot of time fleshing out their characters, making backstories and a lot of intricate details, or is it the producer who is voted worst company in America multiple occasions?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and point the finger at them.
Exactly.
If I find out it's BioWare, great. They're both pieces of shit.
Yeah, because it's not going to exonerate EA at all because they're still a pile of shit company, and you picked up a key.
Doesn't change anything.
No, it doesn't. So that's kind of the thing about it, and I don't know, the thing is about DLC is
But it's again, it's about the content. The day one content that I saw, I'm pretty sure they were asking $10 or something for it, or that, or you had to pre-order, or something, and it was I know a lot of people are against pre-order culture. I
like it.
I'm personally indifferent.
I like getting bonuses for pre-ordering games.
I don't know. For me, it can reflect a company, and then other times it just doesn't matter. The pre-order bonus for Dark Souls 1 was incredible, whereas the pre-order bonus for Bloodborne was laughable.
And the pre-order bonus for Batman Arkham Asylum was crazy awesome. You got extra challenge maps or something like that, I think. We don't really need anything from here.
Maps.
Or you just straight, and if you got it for PS4, then you got the Joker challenge maps for free, which was interesting. But
oh boy.
But anyway, the thing is about DLC is I don't know, it's difficult because when I see DLC, I always content, yeah, but I can gauge the intention by how much they're charging for each thing that they have. Like for like we go back to like CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, the Blood and Wine expansion. They made an expansion pack that was the size of the second Witcher game.
Both combined are the size.
Both, yeah. No,
or
I think it
almost.
was just that one. Really,
No,
both combined.
It's both combined.
Okay, so that's pretty absurd, especially because The Witcher 3 is a phenomenal game in the first place, but giving you, I don't know. Plus, it wasn't even $60 for both of them combined, especially because the Game of the Year edition of the game is $50, which comes with all the DLC and things like that, and all the expansion packs. And they also gave out a lot of free DLC too. Like, they released free missions, they released free armor for your horse and yourself. They released free themes and free avatars, just all free, just because they like their fans and they want them to feel good about making their purchase. So yeah, when they release DLC or expansion packs, I'm gonna trust that they're gonna actually fill it with content. And that's the thing is because I remember, this comes down to like, content quality, not just amount of content. Like 150 hours of gameplay can be easily quantified into 120 hours of wandering through the forest and 30 hours of doing something important. So it's not actually 150 hours, it's 30 hours of content. And The Witcher 3 didn't lie about it. They're like, yeah, it's about 30 hours of content. And like,
it shows through the mechanics too, like your horse being able to like auto run to places. And can you fast travel in that game?
Yeah, you have to find a signpost, but yeah.
It's just shit like that, like showing that, hey, we're not here to waste your fucking time.
Exactly.
Like, it's not a time sink. We're not. Well, I mean, The Witcher 3 is a time sink, but it's not a time sink in the sense that it's going to be a grind.
Yeah, it's not an exploitative time sink where it's like play and spend more time with the game because we're going to have you, force you to spend more time with the game. It's like, yeah,
like,
a lot of stuff to do.
Jesus Christ, dude, I can't aim.
A lot of stuff and a lot of different stuff to do. Like,
yeah,
it's
like almost to the point where it's overwhelming. Like,
it is.
I stepped in that game and I was like, Jesus, dude.
Especially
so
like
much.
My first playthrough of The Witcher 3, because now I'm on my second one. What I did was like I went to every single town and ripped every sign off every notice board, and I was like, well, where do I start? There's about 1 billion things to do, and I definitely am not ready to take it on all at once. So I don't know. It's nice. Like, I like that kind of stuff. And like when you have a free game and you have microtransactions, you need them because you need to make your money. It just depends on how they are. Like, I think Smite did microtransactions beautifully. I mean, because for $30 you basically buy the game. That's basically what it is. You get every god from now and forever. For $30, that's a pretty damn good deal because right now there's like 83 gods.
Everything else is aesthetic.
Which if you want to pay money for aesthetic things, I mean, I don't really give a shit. Like, I've never bought anything aesthetic in that game because I don't care. But a couple of our friends do. Like, Aaron and Alex have a lot of aesthetic stuff, and they wanted to spend more money on the game. And I was like, I mean, I guess, like, it's not really my prerogative, but the fact that the game doesn't force me to do that is perfectly acceptable. Granted...
in order to access more content.
Yeah. But granted, unlocking a god through, like, the slog can take a while, so you can make it feel like you're forced to buy God Pack, but I don't know.
You are, but the thing is, you can judge whether or not you're willing to pay for the game by playing the free gods.
Exactly. And I honestly...
And they rotate 5 in every week, so you can try new gods every week.
Indeed. Plus, you get to rent gods and this, and that, and like, in my opinion, one of my favorite gods of all time is actually one of the base gods, so like, I didn't buy the God Pack for the first couple of months I had the game because I was set with playing Ra. Like, I was like, I'll just play Ra, and I'm fine with that. Like, and he's still my favorite god. Why not? All right.
Oh,
charge shot.
Yep.
Ooh.
That gun.
Yeah, it's the one you had backwards. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, like, I was like, fine, and like, Neith's pretty cool, and I love Ymir, and like all the base guys are really cool, and you can get a lot of fun out of them. And if they rotate 5 gods every couple of weeks, then fuck yeah, dude. They're not extorting you for your money. They're, I don't know, they're kind of encouraging you, which is fine because it actually doesn't feel like they're exploiting me. And then I bought the God Pack for $20 because it was on sale, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Granted, I don't play that game religiously like Alex and Aaron do, but I felt like it's $20 well spent. And then, because like buyer's remorse is a very real thing, and I'm going to judge a game's DLC based on its price and how much content you get. Like, I was watching Joseph Anderson, and he did a breakdown of Dark Souls 3 DLC, and compared to like Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1, or Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, because did Dark Souls 1 have DLC?
Yeah.
It did, yeah. He broke it down compared to
Glorious.
Dark Souls 1 and 2 DLC.
Yeah, the Ashes of Ariandel, yeah, was ridiculously shallow.
Yeah, and he broke it down based on like number versus hours versus bosses versus new weapons, and he broke it all down mathematically, and he's like, yeah, this DLC mathematically wasn't even close to worth it.
Nope.
And I was like, oh.
It was a shame, too, because I really liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the game, but that was just shallow, man.
So, and that's just, it's a damn, exactly, it's a damn
fact.
shame.
Like,
yeah.
The amount of content I got for that versus, like, Artorias at the same price
Oh, yeah.
is unequivocal.
Exactly.
Hands down.
I
I kind of need ammo, but no, I'm not going to spend that money.
don't care if you get ammo. How much does it cost right now? 36? We have 88, though. I mean, if you need ammo that bad, just get it, dude.
I'd rather get keys.
Well, we have another, we'll come back. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So that's when like DLC are like, I mean, even though we're a big sucker for the Soulsborne series, which I'm fine with,
Yeah.
that DLC just wasn't worth it, and it kind of feels bad because
Oh, it definitely feels
it comes
bad.
from a company that we like, or a developer that we like. Like oh, there you go, ammo right there. Fuck yeah, we didn't buy it. Good shit, dude. All you.
Nope. There we go.
All right, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know. Bandai Namco, they're a tricky beast. Because again, I find my vendettas against publishers versus developers, but
Yeah, it's because the publisher's job to make the money. It's the developer's job to make an awesome game that's worth the money. So when you're pissed, it's more than, oh damn, what a shot! It's more than likely the developer's fault when it comes down to like money.
yeah. But I don't know. Bandai Namco is in charge of a lot of things that I really love.
Yeah.
Like their whole From Software arsenal is incredible. They do Gundam and Dragon Ball Z, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that's Cryware, and I don't know. I think Bandai Namco is a part of that.
I don't know.
Can't
but
remember.
They do Armored Core.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff that I really like, and
Yeah.
it's just it's hard for me to hate them because they're a toy company and they do really well with arcades in Japan. It's just like I feel that the cultural barrier sets them a bit apart, so I'm not as quick to judge. And I mean, other than Sony, which Sony has proven time and time again that sometimes they can do great things, and
Yeah.
sometimes they can do great things, and other times they just drop the fucking ball, man. But
That's
companies like Nintendo, fuck, dude.
Except when it comes to movies, Sony doesn't know how to make movies. Anyway,
All right, I get the ballot back.
good. That thing that's been helping.
No, their music production is pretty horrifying too.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. Seriously.
Holy mother of
I
fuck!
Put
That room was chaos.
the crossbow in my mouth. But Nintendo is a company that from Japan that just does everything way better.